Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If? Him, or should I say, or this is an What If? This is custom card. So this custom cards review of a two archetypes rolled into one. So it's basically a starter of a new two cards archetype plus a retrain of one of the old cards. So let's begin. Let's start with, this first archetype, the first part of it is called Mirror Shatter, and they're a light attribute monsters slash some of them are just they can bring certain cards out on a field and all that stuff. So let's start with and I'm still working on their spells and traps. So let's start with this. This is Mirror Shard Centra. Light attribute, level 3, warrior tuner effect monster, when this card is normal summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. That monster's effects are negated until the end of this turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Mirror Shard spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect for once per turn. So this card is basically, because first of all, let's get into the reason why I made this archetype, basically, is because we all see like Snake Eyes and Ebel. Or Ebel is tier 1 deck, and everybody uses it. So I decided to make this one to handle Snake Eyes and Ebel's like cards, because this one can basically negate in your opponent. Like, say if your opponent had Ebel on the field and you use this card to attack into, and it's so first you normal summon it, you target the Ebel, and the Ebel would not activate her effects. So then you can hit into the damage. So basically, yeah. So then we got the boss of the... This is one of two bosses. This first one is Crystal Queen of the Shards, or Mirror Shards. It's a light level 7. Level 7 spellcaster effect monster. Attack 3,000. Defense is 2,500. And this card cannot be normal summon or set. Must be a special summon by banishing 2 mirror shards monsters you control. And once per turn, you can select one monster on your opponent's shield, take control of it until the end of your next turn. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can pay 100 life points. Each time your opponent activates any card effects is now the opposite effect. Like, example, what it's meaning is basically we have, hold on, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. So there's like cards that are like, that have really great effects. So, and words, and like the opposite effect means that, for just example, is Card of Destruction. It allows both players to draw or like discards all cards and draw the same number of cards. But it is reversed. So basically your opponent, both players draw cards, earns, but at the same time they get rid of their entire hand in one fell swoop. That's example. Or like her effect is like basically like, or let's say one of these cards, maybe this one. Yeah, and cards that like uses e-bells or any other cards. Turn. Like any powerful cards could be like like twisted and like in a way like it has the opposite effect of like, instead of like, say your opponent activates the Mirror Force card earns, it would have destroyed their monsters instead of the attacking ones. Like basically the defenders. Stuff like that is just, it's pretty broken, I know. But if you had to, see? So, let's continue. So, we already did the shard center and her. Now we're on to the, like, basically, it's a support cards that are opposite to the mirror shards. So, yeah. But they still help the archetype. Let's begin with this one. This is called Prism Guardian Collector. It's a light level 4 beast effect monster. Here, this card And if this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target one mirror shard monster from your deck, special summon it to your field in attack mode. But it cannot declare an attack until the end of this turn. Until the end of your turn. If this card is sent to the grave, you can select one mirror shard or one card from your graveyard or deck to your hand. Shuffle all this card into the deck. So basically, yeah. So then we got the gluer. I'm just going to use their last name or their name of, because it's Prism Guardian Gluer, and it's a light level 4 Beast Warrior effect monster, where this is a hand trap basically. If a mirror shard monster gets destroyed by battle or by card effects, you can discard this card from your hand or to your graveyard. Special summon that destroyed monster or to your field in a defense mode. So basically, what it means is the mirror shard monster gets special summoned in defense mode, but it gains 2,000 defense points. So there's only 2 targeted monsters. This one and this one. So yeah. So, but most useful one is this one. And yeah. Plus, if your opponent activates a card effect or declares an attack while this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can banish this card to your banish zone, negate it, and then the turn automatically ends instant. So it basically, your opponent declares an attack or activates a card effect on their turn. You banish this card, and your opponent's entire turn is just ends. So then, yeah. So that's 4 monsters. 2 of them for the mirror, and 2 of them are like guardians of the mirror. One. Like the collector is basically collects the monsters or collecting mirror shards together. There's actually a story behind it. So one day, or long time ago, in the glass city of, this is a story, so, there was this glass kingdom, home of the mirror shards, and they always live happily, but they always live in constant fear of someone breaking them with a hammer, or so they always stay clear of each other's paths. And yeah, But if one of the monsters, or if one of their was destroyed, then so there was this new one. There's these creatures that came, and the collectors, there's two types. Collector and gluer were just mining their own beeswax and like gluing stuff and putting stuff together. But then a big war breaks out between the mirror shards and the darkness. And mirror shards were broken up into a bunch of tiny pieces, like they got killed. So after the darkness left, Collector and Gluer looked around, and they looked at each other's, and they both nod their heads, and so they start to work. As Collector grabs the pieces of glass, and he is like slime, basically like from Minecraft slimes. And so he basically puts them together and like fuses them back into way they were before. As the queen was the last one, as she could see why, as because both of them were, but it was she thanks them for their support and all that stuff. So then the gluer and the collector were hired to, like, if the glass people were basically got killed again, they will like reform them back quicker than ever. So yeah, so that's why so now we're on to one new retrain that I made based on, because I keep seeing these like keep seeing people saying, oh, they need a retrain of Happy Lover because of the familiar possessed thing. Like, so this is the retrain of it. So this is called Familiar Possessed Happy Lover. It's a light level 2 fairy tuner effect monster. And this card's name is always treated as a happy lover monster on the field. And or hand. This card cannot be normal summon or set. Must first be special summoned by attributing one happy lover herm. That's this card, the vanilla monster herm, on the field Once per turn, quick effect, you can select one monster your opponent controls. The selected monster cannot activate its effects or declare an attack until the end of your opponent's next turn, but it also cannot be tributed until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically, it means that your opponent's monster can't do anything. And so yeah. So basically, that if this card special summon from the graveyard by a card effect, you can select one light monster or one spellcaster monster from your deck or hand, special summon it to your field in attack mode, ignoring the summoning conditions. And all light attribute and all spellcaster monsters gains 1000 attack and defense. So this card is light, so it's basically, it gains 1500 or so 1500 attack and 1800 defense. So basically, this is a probably better version of retrain version of Happy Lover thing. Because this monster, because based on its flavor text, like the enemies become overjoyed when struck by the heart ray. Basically, the laser from its forehead of this tiny creature. So I took that inspiration and I used it to fuse into to create this monster. So basically, yeah. So this monster is treated as a happy lover, but this card's effects would be that you can target one monster on the field, like basically your opponent, your enemy, can't activate their effects around the monster. When I was making it, it sounded like I was doing like similar to what to that Happy Maiden, or yeah, Happy Maid. Happy Maiden, or this one. That's what it was. So this one sounded like I was doing something similar to that. But this one is basically, it doesn't like takes control of it, but it cannot activate its effects and all that stuff. So, yeah. It has pretty good with like, I know when I'm when I added this fact about like you can select one light attribute or one spellcaster monster from your deck or hand to be special summoned, ignoring the summoning conditions. It was basically it was like thinking about it. Like, should I? Or because I know that it needs. Because if somehow it was supposed to be a card for like the possessed doll things or I forget. Oh no. Hold on. AMIL. Like, basically, how, like, most of these, like, cards has to be, like, special summoned by their effects. Well, then when I was making this, then I thought about another spellcaster that I could think of that's more famous. Dark Magician, because that's also spellcasters. Because, yeah. So, yeah. And so then I was like, light orb, and all light attributes and all spellcasters gain 1,000 attack. So it has a built-in like field spells that boost the monster's attacks. Yeah. So if you guys like this retrain, let me know in the comments below. And I did change its stats to, it is level 4 with whopping 1,500 or 100. So yeah. So it's basically a powerhouse at this point. So, yeah. So it's a level 4 monster because I took it before. So then, because the Happy Lover was a level 2 monster, where, yeah. So, when you bring this card back to the field, man, you just need to, it only has to be brought back by card effect. So, Monster Reborn, turn to bring it back, and you summon another monster. It's pretty busted. And plus, it's a synchro monster. And the level 4. And it could get you into like level 10 if you summon a level 6 monster. That's light or spellcaster. Let me see if that's a real thing. Oh, yeah. Level 6. So, like, there's Chaos Commander Magician. And, yeah. You could summon that. And like, you could use it to special summon, like, light monsters. Lane. Antimute. Monster. So, you could see combo plays with it. Like, you could summon like this, because it's also a light monster. And you could create a level 8. You could just overlay it with to create a ranked 4 monster, or do stuff like that. You could do a lot with this little guy. Yeah. So, if you guys really enjoy this, whatever, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back into making more of these cards. Peace out, y'all.